Hi, the broker with the heart coming to you live, this time from my office. Take a little moment from your time to share a thought with you because recently I'm sure that many of you have already heard about what's going on in the industry, the changes that are being touted about, and the idea that somehow or another the real estate community is changing either for the best or for the worst, depending on who is talking. But I recently came across the latest commentary from the Wall Street Journal that talks a little bit about this, and a little bit is this, and it goes through a total of 27 pages worth of information. As you can see, none of this is simple. There's always a lot more details. And the reason that I bring this particular commentary out is because it's from the attorney who actually propounded this whole idea. And from what it sounds like, he started this personal crusade about 7 years ago. So up to now, it's been an on and off type of a struggle for them being the legal professionals, and for the consumer, it leaves everybody a little bit in the lurch for this reason. A buyer has always bought a house with the assistance of a realtor or a real estate broker or a real estate agent, and the sellers rely on the expertise that such professionals bring to the table, and some of that it goes behind the scenes where we do what we do. And again, what we do is make sure that the parties come together, there's a meeting of the minds, and that everybody is essentially receiving what they bargained for. So a buyer wants to make sure they're buying the right house, they want to make sure they're paying the right price, they want to make sure that the conditions are correct, and all of the above. And of course, the seller wants to make sure that they have a tidy transaction so that there are no loose ends at the end or problems that can surface. Now, if that's the description of a normal transaction, you didn't hear me mention anything about a commission. But it's implicit that the way the real estate industry is, the real estate professionals get paid through the sale of a property. And when I say through, I literally mean that. They get paid when the seller gets paid, and only after everything has been said and done correctly, thoroughly, completely, and to everyone's satisfaction. So if you've ever bought a house, ideally and hopefully you are the recipient of all of the above services. And if you ever sold a house, then you also got what you paid for, including the commission structure that was there, which allowed for the listing to be publicized throughout the multiple listing service and throughout the internet, through all the platforms and media that's available these days. Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, and all of the above. You could actually look up maxmyhouse.com and you'll see that I have the same information that everybody else secures through the same media, which is what they call IDX, Internet Data Exchange, for the services that provide your house to all of these other platforms. Now, again, those are just some of the commentaries that you need to know as a backdrop of what this whole idea is. The idea behind this is that the separation of duties, which means the seller hires their own agent for the exclusive use of that seller. But then the question becomes, how does that agent secure a buyer for you, if not with the services that I just mentioned, the multiple listing service being one of them? If there is no commission payable to the buying agent's side of this formula, then the incentive to anyone to work on a potential transaction without the sense of being compensated becomes more the wear for that person to try to figure out, okay, how am I going to get paid? And that's the question for the buyer's side, because technically, again, this gentleman made it so that each party, and this gentleman's name, just so you know who I'm talking about, is Robert A. Brown, Brun. He's a partner in an antitrust practice group at Cohen Milstein. And again, I'm getting this right off of this article. You could look it up, it's online. And if you don't find it, you could send me a text or an email, and I will gladly send you the link. But getting back to the point, if you are a buyer and you plan to buy anytime after July, don't be surprised that there will be a contract. It's called a buyer agent representation agreement. That contract essentially spells out that you will be responsible to pay your agent a percentage of the purchase price, because that's typically the way it works. It's a percentage, or a specific flat fee if that's the way that agent chooses to propose to you how he or she may represent you. And remember, the key word here is represent you. And that is part of why this claim demand lawsuit was, the outcome was what it was, because essentially the seller was paying both parties. And the way this gentleman, Mr. Brown, suggests, he was paying to have someone represent someone else against him or her, the seller. A little bit confusing, but not. If you have your own agent as a buyer, your agent represents you. So the question is why you, the buyer, don't pay your agent. And that's the whole basis of this settlement that NAR agreed to recently, March to be exact. So as you can see, it gets a little bit more convoluted than that, but I don't want to give you too much of the details without boring you. So look me up online, maxmyhouse.com, The Broker with the Heart, and I'll be glad to give you some more insights. I actually just did my own version of that article, but I kept it short. One page. Why? It's very voluminous if you believe that 500,000 plaintiffs in a class action isn't a lot. It's a lot. And I'm sure that their documentation is even more than that. But again, to summarize it all, do get prepared for what's coming next. And as a buyer, be prepared to have that conversation with your agent. And as a seller, you will always have the same sort of conversation, only a little bit different. And yours truly was a pioneer in the model that allowed the seller to truly negotiate a commission. So if you are looking for that, look me up, maxmyhouse.com, The Broker with the Heart, 650-746-4607, or online, hashtag The Broker with the Heart. And you can also text me at maxmyhouse@gmail.com. Until next time, signing off from Daly City, California, getting my card so you can see that. I look forward to serving you.